Hello everyone. In this video, we're picking out and sharing the latest topics about Asia. From one of the most famous Reddit-style forums in Japan. Even if you don't understand Japanese, we've translated everything into English subtitles and audio. So you can join the conversation as if you were in Japan. So, let's dive into the discussions happening in Japan. Some Chinese people who've lived in Japan for years are starting to return to China for good, while there are still Chinese people who want to live in Japan. More are choosing to head back home. One example is a Chinese massage therapist who's lived in Japan for over 30 years, but decided to close their shop and return to their hometown in Heilongjiang province. They felt the market in Japan was shrinking and didn't feel much attachment to Japan, since they never fully learned the language.
Nothing beats living in your own country. Take care, everyone. The food here is great. Plus, I can talk as loud as I want and spit on the streets. There's a freedom here that Japan just doesn't have. Too many invisible rules over there. Exactly, please go back. Chinese customs really only make sense in China. Not learning Japanese and not feeling attached to Japan sounds pretty typical. Some people think that Chinese immigrants in Japan can live just fine in their own communities, without ever needing to speak Japanese. Others say this might lead to bigger Chinatowns in Japan, especially in areas like the Bay Area with high-rise condos. Makes sense to go back, especially with the nuclear threats from China and Russia starting to feel more real. But Taiwan invasion first, right? Some speculate that there might even be quiet orders from the Chinese government, encouraging people to return, possibly for military service. There are rumors that Chinese authorities are cracking down on people trying to transfer assets abroad, even using unofficial means to track and bring people back, with cases popping up in places like Canada. In Japan, some people see this as proof that Japan is becoming less appealing to foreigners, while others are worried about the growth of Chinese communities in areas like Tokyo's high-rise neighborhoods. Honestly, I'd rather head back on my own than risk getting dragged back by some unofficial police group in Akihabara. Rich Chinese people are still coming in, while those without money are heading back. Actually, it's the other way around. They're calling back wealthy Chinese folks to bring their money back to China. Remember that Chinese guy who killed someone with his car? If you're the victim, good luck getting proper compensation or even seeing the person face justice. It's messed up. Japan is becoming less appealing overall. If we don't do something, it'll be too late. Maybe that's fine? If Japanese people are okay with it, there's no problem. Funny, though, where I live in Toyota, I've noticed a lot more Chinese people recently. Wouldn't mind if the number of Chinese people here dropped to 1,100 of what it is now. Chinese people leaving, while other groups are moving in. Those high-rise neighborhoods in Tokyo are practically Chinatown already, with guys wandering around midday looking sketchy. I feel like way more people are coming here than going back. Some people are being ordered to return, and if they're middle class, they're having their assets seized as soon as they're back. Maybe it's a trick by the Chinese government to make people feel safe returning? No way I'd leave. Where else can I get fresh seafood? China's advancing quickly. They're making flying cars, testing planes that fly at Mach 4. Makes sense why some people would rather be there than here in Japan. China's richer, more advanced, and has a better future ahead. It's actually part of Chinese culture to go back and enjoy retirement in their hometown after they're done working. It's like a virtue. Honestly, just go back. It's scary to think they might start riots here. Chinese people don't try to blend into the local culture. They just build their own communities. Not surprised they don't make friends. With the yen dropping, people are making more money in China now. They're just jumping off a sinking ship. Where I am, it feels like there are more and more Chinese-owned stores. And the language barrier is kind of annoying. There was a news report about people being contacted and threatened. Apparently, China even has its own police network in Japan to enforce this stuff. Funny, though, you don't hear of any Japanese people wanting to move to China. Most people are happier living in their home country. Work hard when you're young, then go back and relax when you're older. Losing the wealthy Chinese folks stings a bit. A Chinese person who goes back is a good Chinese person.
Did you find this video interesting? We'll keep bringing you fun topics from Japan's online community. Please subscribe to the channel and drop some comments.